Cool.
Oh,
What are you-
Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Haven't been here in a while.
Yeah, things have been a little crazy, but I'm glad to be back for a bit.
And there's Albert Einstein, the chick magnet.
Yeah, great. That should only be true.
Well, he claimed to be a photographer's model.
Now,
Take it.
somebody on Facebook said he looks like Einstein and he's a chick magnet.
No, I'm not saying anything. I was about to say something.
Hi, Annette.
Hello.
She doesn't have the cloth over her face like before. We actually see her. Hi, Annette.
Oh, well, I'm not in Florida anymore, so you can see me here. Different situation.
Aha. So I pulled up just in the nick of time into a Panera Bread. But their internet connection is so lame that I end up using my phone anyway.
Oh, wow.
What hodgepodge? For lunch.
So I have a question. Has anyone done Brookside? Can you store things behind your tent? Do you know?
Is that the show where you're in the big tent?
I don't think so. I don't know.
They don't like me there.
I'm trying to think. I did one of them, either Brookside. What's the other one?
Plaza?
Plaza.
No, not the Plaza.
Perry Village.
Which one?
Perry Village.
No,
There's Shaw.
no, it's another May show, I think.
Okay, I'm going to go to my computer. I'll be right back.
I mean, I guess most art fairs let you have storage behind, or
You can't count on anything.
because I didn't see, and I emailed and I didn't get an email back. I mean, I guess I could email again, but it'll kind of depend. I might have to set up my booth different if I have to store my stuff inside. So
Not Fort Worth. You have to be in your 10 by 10 contained
Right.
section. 'Cause there's no room.
no storage there or anything.
No.
In your vehicle, if you can park close by.
You have to make it.
Ooh.
Actually, once you do it the first time, it's like invigorating. Set up 7 feet, have a 3-foot storage area in the back of your booth with a door.
Oh.
I do that at every show.
I used to do that all the time.
Because you can't, if it rains, you don't want the stuff outside, so.
Well, that's good. Maybe I need to rethink my booth. But right now I have my desk back there. I don't know.
Okay, looking at the booth picture you have there, you
Yeah.
have the French wall there, just put another wall in next to it and bring the stuff that's all the way back forward,
Yeah.
and then have room to walk in behind it. And then you could sit back there.
Yeah. And I'd have to have more panels though. Let's see. Well, unless it's just behind your panels and you have the sides. So you just use the sides then?
Yep,
Okay.
try it.
Yeah, because I probably don't have to have it quite so deep. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to pay attention to that in Florida, going to the shows that I wasn't in to see what people did. And
What's that noise?
it might be my washing machine. I have a problem.
Did I bring my clothes?
I just had the retirement. Well, he said I just had my oven fixed, my double oven. And so I said, what's wrong with my washing machine? He said, oh, that's a plumbing problem. So I gotta call a plumber.
Okay, Oscar,
Yeah,
I'm in booth 141. So you're 39. You said 35 or 37?
36, I think.
Huh?
It better be a corner booth. That's the only thing I know. I'll tell you in a second.
Josh calling ESPN. Hi, Josh.
That's me or you?
Well, you warned me.
I don't think it's me.
Okay. Okay, that's no me.
Okay, so you have a credit card number? All right, go ahead.
I'll
just,
tell you in a second. I'm
Oscar, I
looking
thought
at
you were
the.
talking about
Wait a
me.
second, I gotta turn it, I'm in the middle of a Zoom meeting. Okay, 5278. Go ahead. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Expiration. Okay.
135.
Security code.
Ooh,
You got
nice.
135?
All right, if I have a problem, I'll call you
Yeah,
back.
that'll
Or I'll
work.
email you, but
You're three booths down from me.
Cool.
Yeah,
yeah, it's all right.
that'll work. Maybe
All right.
pull this down
Thank
just
you.
a little more, but it's great.
I'm not finished.
Okay.
I know it's thick, but it doesn't matter. I'm kind of, oh, I got a flat spot. So yeah, I gotta get some more off. Didn't get centered very good.
You can fix that.
It was deeper.
Oscar, I don't know if it's a corner
Bring it
space.
again.
If it's not a
It
corner,
was hailing before.
I worked on the
Because-
car some more, making changes in
The
it.
booth next to me is a corner
Time the
space.
door closed. So I think I got it the way it's gonna be now.
Okay.
You have to have a corner?
I'd rather have a corner. It works
Holy-
better for me.
Thing else, it's all weird out.
All right.
It's ready to fly.
Okay.
Ooh, what the hell is?
What?
I think the Bob screwed this up. I need to go. Let me finish call for Flourish. Sorry. I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Hey, I have a question. Is anybody using mesh walls from Flourish?
No.
I guess not. Remember Gancha from the last week?
No.
Yeah, she set up her show and she had black mesh walls and that has black fabric backing it so that you don't see the light through it. But she couldn't hang on the outside of her booth because of the fabric.
That's good. I hate when they put stuff on the outside.
Well, she had a corner. And she couldn't hang on the outside of the corner.
Poor baby.
Well, what I don't understand is why that black fabric wasn't just Velcroed at the bottom so you could roll it up. So you could hang through the mesh on both sides.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to call Flourish.
You know, when I get to a show and I need to make some adjustments, you just make the adjustment.
Well, if that was me, I would have cut the fabric at the bottom.
I mean, was she complaining about that?
Well, no, but she had to hang things on wires, so it looked really shitty on the outside. Instead of
For me, the
hanging them
moral,
on.
yeah,
What?
the moral of the story is don't hang stuff on the outside.
Then why do you want a corner space?
Because it's more open. So you get
Well,
people
that's
from
how
both.
that's how you set up. Some people
No.
set up using that outside wall. The corner gives them an extra 10 foot of hanging space.
Listen,
Oscar, what do you do on a corner? You're muted.
He's on another call.
Oh,
So how did that
Oscar's-
archer turn out for her? Did she say?
I didn't, I only, she sent me pictures after she set up. I didn't talk to her after the show.
so
I'm back.
You had
so
a
ask
question,
Oscar.
What happened?
there was a question for you.
What was
Yeah,
it?
a question about mesh walls. When you have a corner space, do you hang on the outside of the tent?
Yes.
See, Barry?
So
Let me see if I can. I don't know if I have it in here, but
And there's Michael.
Hello, how are you?
hi.
Hello, I'm Michael Alfano. I'm a sculptor up in the Boston area. And what kind of work do you do?
Oscar.
Main photography.
Ah, nice. Good, good.
aren't you depressed?
Uh,
At what?
The Boston Bruins won 65 games during the season. They
I
set a
know.
record for most wins in a regular season, and then they got eliminated in the first round.
Yep,
They were
well,
expected to win the Stanley Cup.
it is
I'd be
pretty
depressed.
crazy. Well, we've got a lot of practice with the Patriots losing undefeated season in the Super Bowl, so we get our practice in.
Yeah, but it's the Bruins.
That is true.
Their best player in the playoffs came from Detroit.
Nice. And is that where you are? You're from Detroit?
That's where I'm from.
Okay, good.
That's not where I am, but that's where I'm from.
Ah, right, right. Nice.
That's my team. I can't believe they lost.
I know it was very surprising. They were up, I think 3-1 or something like that, and blew it.
Yeah,
And
they
if
were
they
had
just
3
held
games
them,
to win.
yep, if they just held them off the last minute, they would have done it also.
It was in overtime.
Yes.
It happens.
Wrong caller.
Hello.
Larry's
Well-
very busy.
Garbage.
I can't hear a thing. So
Oh, I know.
I'm set up at this show last weekend. I got these pop-up tents, one on each side of it. And it's windy. The guy on my right didn't have walls and everything leaning up against his booth.
Ah,
The only reason why I got into the show is because it's from Birmingham, Alabama, and they know, or like in the area, so everything's leaning up against something. So he's got these panels, and it's windy, and I'm out there talking to him for a minute. The panel blows up in the air, hits my wall, and I have these shelves with small pieces on it, and I look, and they're flying.
wow.
4 of the 5 pieces are flying off of the thing.
Wow.
So I wanted to make sure that the person on the other side of me heard me because, um, you know, their tent, I mean, both these tents are not secure. The show doesn't care. That show
Yeah.
doesn't care.
Mm.
So I didn't make him pay full price. I
Oof.
charged him post sale.
And let him take
And he
home.
didn't argue. He wrote the check.
Wow.
Do the shows require insurance or things like that?
Insurance pays material costs. I did take a picture. I wonder if I could get a whole,
Hmm.
I don't know, you know what? It might be as much as $50. Might be more materials.
Yeah,
You know,
We got glaze, clay.
clay and fuel for your kiln.
Well, yeah, I could add that. My glaze material is real expensive. That's what I use, so
Hmm.
maybe I could fudge it. Okay. We were all holding our breath. We want to know from court, how was Oklahoma City?
It was Oklahoma City. 4 days of rain, 2 days of pretty rapid pace sales.
Mm.
It's always like that.
I'll tell you, Barry, you've done it before. The quality of the artist has gone down overall.
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like what I'd consider a national level show where you have artists from all over the country. A whole lot of Oklahoma City artists.
That's telling in itself. When's the last time you did it before today?
About 5 years ago.
Okay. Definitely in 5 years, it's gone downhill. See, I talked to somebody else, so I kind of got the scoop. What do you think of the fact that the guy wouldn't let anybody go into the building to warm up?
I didn't know about that. I didn't. I was by myself, so I couldn't go over there.
Yeah, but I mean, during the rain, nobody showed up during the rain, so
yeah, they
you
did
could
let us
leave
go
it.
early though. They let us go early, an hour early one night, and then 3 hours early another night.
Wow.
Where'd you cold?
I was only really cold. Tuesday was really cold. But the
First day.
Friday, I think it was Friday that they let us close at 6 instead of 9.
I was told, oh, really? That's
Yeah.
serious because look at what 1 year when I was there, they were predicting a tornado coming and you could see the clouds coming. And the director's out, I and a bunch of people were packing up and the guys go, oh, no, you have to stay here. And I went, yeah, good luck with that. We all ignored him. As it turns out, the storm was coming in and just like the Red Sea, it parted. It didn't hit us,
Wow.
but still.
Yeah, I was talking to another artist, and it's like the higher quality artists at the higher price points are having problems making sales because you're competing price wise with people that don't understand the difference in quality.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a problem. What was Tuesday morning like? Oh, actually, which is it's like they just do this because they've always done it. There's no they're like, can't they see? I mean, for years there's been nobody that shows up in that morning.
Tuesday morning was dead.
They make you come at 7:30 or 8 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah, they moved it to 8 o'clock this year.
Yeah, big deal.
I mean, there were some people, but it was raining. There weren't, I didn't get set up till like 10 or 11, totally
Yeah.
set up till 10 or
You know
11.
it would something quick? It would have been the same if it was sunny and 75 degrees.
Yeah.
That whole thing has been dead for about 5 years. Actually 10 years, but I was giving it a couple of years. And they just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Well, I was told that there's somebody new's taking over some part of it next year, and there were the person I was talking to was wondering what kind of changes the new person's going to make. So
good luck with that.
I've been gone, and Mr. Gray's wants a lot of attention, so that's why I keep wiggling around. He keeps jumping in my lap and trying to knock stuff off.
Yeah, it's too bad. I'm finished with that show.
Yeah, I won't go back. I did about as much as I did the first time.
Yeah.
But it was really tough trying to get I had people I raised my prices. My little prints that used to be $25 were now $30. And I had people balk on spending that. It's, stand there and talk about how much they loved it and then wouldn't buy it. And
yeah, it used to be different. I didn't do it last year. I stopped doing it 2 years ago.
It's
3 years. 3 years ago.
You can tell that all the artists that were grandfathered in, when all the artists that had the you get your 3 years in, they didn't reapply.
Yeah.
And Brookside's this coming weekend, and I was talking to all sorts of artists, and everybody is going to go to do the local Edmond show in Edmond, Oklahoma the next weekend. Nobody's talking about going to Brookside or some other big show. They're all going to Edmond.
That's because they couldn't get in. And listen, yeah. Edmond's a bottom feeder also.
I just looked at the quality of the work, and it's like, yeah.
I know. And it used to be good.
I mean, it used to be a really good show. And
yeah.
it's just not.
Hey, I could tell you stories about Oklahoma City, but the last time I did it was 27 years ago.
Yeah, that's a little dated, Larry.
I know.
When it was good.
Yeah.
I was talking to a painter who was talking about, having to compete with, person around the corner from him that's, selling stuff that's, a third the price of what she's selling or less.
Any buy sell there?
There was one pretty obvious one that was some kind of rings that come apart.
Puzzle rings?
Yeah, sort of like a puzzle ring, but they didn't call them puzzle rings. I forget what they called them.
But Cord, did you end making what you needed to make, or you walk out of there disappointed?
I walked out of there disappointed. I didn't lose any money, but I walked out disappointed.
Okay. Will you do it again next year?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Hey, Oscar, how'd Steve do?
I didn't. He said that he did well, but he didn't. He was. I wasn't not worried about sales with him. I was more worried about him, how he's going to handle 6 days doing shows. He told me that he was really, really tired every night when he walked out of the show.
Yeah.
So, but he's digging crystal this week. So I will talk to him next week after his granddaughter's birthday. So
when it rains and it's cold, it doesn't matter how good you do or how bad you do or how much energy you put out. It's tiring at the end of the day.
Yeah, if it's really cold, your body just goes.
Yeah.
especially when you get to my age.
Tuesday night
You're a
was,
kid.
you know, by the time we got done Tuesday night, it was a lot of tired people.
I bet.
But luckily, when it rained, the wind didn't blow, so it rained straight down. We didn't get any really heavy wind. The heavy rains came overnight one night, and there was a pop-up near me that almost came down. Actually, two pop-ups that almost came down because of all the
Pop-ups.
water on them.
You mean
They
they had
were
their own? They had their own
vendors.
tents.
There were food vendors.
Oh, food vendors. Yeah, delightful. Yeah. I think it's funny. You go to a show and everybody's driving a van. At Birmingham, they were all driving SUVs, and I think most of them were local also. So it wasn't your. There were some professionals. There's some really good people there, but everybody I talked to did not have a good show.
You and Jana?
Oh well, Jana had a good show. Well, sort of a good show. I don't know numbers, but she was selling. So I could see her. I could see her across from the. I had a clear shot, and because she was on a hill, she put her storage down below. So every time she would walk down below to wrap a piece, I could see her. So I knew that she did well right from the beginning. Or she made sales. I don't know how good she did, but she made sales. But it was fun seeing her. But I know Terry Causey didn't do that well, and she dragged Scott there. Scott Causey's work.
Yeah.
He didn't sell anything.
Yeah, I was surprised that she didn't do South Lake and then she went down there. So.
Well, 2 years ago we did. She was there and I was there. And it was great. And last year it was great also. It was one of my best shows. This year I did 20% of what I did. I was 80% down, which is, I made my expenses and maybe $1 or $2 more. And normally, there's some really annoying things there, like the trains coming by. It's kind of funny. You're talking to somebody and the train comes by with their whistle and it whistles and you can see the people's lips moving, but you can't hear a word that they're saying. Plus, if you look at the prizes, go to the website and look at the prizes, everybody's favorite alleged, and I'm not going to say what it is, but alleged production studio, they gave them a prize. They gave them an award. And the artist is supposed to be there. And so somebody went there impersonating this person or said he was this person. And somebody told me this afterwards, that he's sick, that the actual person is sick. So I don't know whether that's true, but there was.
I guess not.
And
Weird.
and then there were some other things like those clay flowers. I don't know. I can't say anything about what it was, except that I didn't like it, but whether they made them or they bought them or whatever, I can't. I'm not going to say because I don't know. But it seems like an awful lot of work for a $53 item.
That is.
And you have hundreds of them.
Yeah. Like only if that's the only show that he does.
Who? Oh, really?
No, I don't know. I just assume it. The only way you can have that many work if that's the only show you do and you're producing all year round for that show.
No, they get in. He gets into. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I'm trying to behave myself.
They just extended the Plaza application.
I looked. I forgot to apply.
You still had time to apply. They
A Plaza?
Yeah.
No, it said April 14th.
No, they extended until May 14th. I just got the email.
They do? Really? I'm
Yeah.
applying then. You sure the results aren't out on May 14th?
No, that's the say good news. Plus, I extended the deadline for RT applications. Apply by Sunday, May 14, 2020.
Really?
Yeah, the deadline was the original deadline was the 28th.
I thought it was, I saw April 14th. It said the deadline's passed. Unless it was some other show that I was looking at.
No, the deadline was the 28th because I got in, I applied on the 28th.
Yeah.
So you can apply it if you want to.
Well, I want to apply. You know, you have to think positively. So I always think that I'm going to get into everything, get into something. So that's a good combo. St. Louis and Plaza in September. You know. Now I get into St. Louis once in a while, so who knows? And what you know, I don't know if anybody watched the Jay's video about being a judge. Anybody see that?
Of course.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it yet. I've been either asleep or driving.
Yeah, and it was really good. It was his reaction at the end of every day, and he said that the thing that is actually the truth, that you could make 3 shows out of that and not drop the quality, because everybody wants to get in there, and you know, so there's a lot of good people, and it's very limited as the amount of booths there are. So personally, I thought he was talking to me, you know. Well, you know, you're my friend and I really like you, but you know, you know, and you could have been in, it would have been great, but I don't think
He was talking to you.
but then again, I'm paranoid sometimes. I think I should get into every show or can get into every show, but you know, we know that's not the case. You know, not that I'm any good, you know, that I deserve to get in, but you know, if you keep applying, sooner or later, you know, the coin, you know, you flip a coin. Blind squirrel gets an acorn.
Yeah, but look at what happened. Look at what happened in Fort Worth this year.
Oh, Fort Worth would have been great if it didn't rain on Sunday. It was still solid. So it didn't bother me that I didn't have that good of an experience last weekend, because I made my, you know, it was a successful trip without it. And it was going to be really great if I could have done what I had done last year and the year before. You know, I don't know, somebody else can address this, but you know, when you're not doing that well, when you do really well, all the little annoying things don't really bother you. When you're doing really bad, all the little things are exacerbated, and it's like, get me out of here. You know, everything bothers you.
You know, I honestly, I don't let the thing change my mood and how the show is going, because it comes to the first podcast that Douglas and Will did. I think that David Orliski was saying that the guy that didn't sell the most expensive piece because he was in a crabby mood and the person came on the last minute, was going to buy a more expensive piece and make the show out of it, and they stopped complaining and the show was not going well, and the guy changed his mind. That always stuck in my head, and I just and I said it happened to me. I done shows Collingwood last time I did it. A person bought a 40 by 60 while I was packing. So
Yeah.
So I don't let my mood. That's what sometimes on Monday I vented and bitching about it because I remember everything that went wrong in the show. Oh, everything that went good in the show. So you gotta let it bug you, because it's just another show. Next weekend will be fine.
I lost one sale in Oklahoma City because the lady didn't want to go stand in line to pay.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't she understand how the show works?
Yeah, she didn't want to stand in line and pay.
Oh, let me tell you something. I don't know how it is now, but I know for a fact that and they don't tell you this, but at one time, if somebody said that to you, you could sell it to them and then give the show the money. They say don't miss any sales. So, Court, you didn't actually know this, but you could have taken their money and it would have been okay, and then you would have paid the show their 20% cut.
Yeah.
So
It only happened once, but
yeah.
the problem was, when you try and pack 6 days worth of business into 2 days, everything gets busy.
Yeah, but that show's like that. It seems like there's always something, the
Yeah.
days are slow, it's too cold, it's too hot. And then you have the percentages in 6 days, you get 2 perfect days, and that's where you do all the sales. It was always like that for me, you know?
Well, and Saturday was crazy. Sunday wasn't as bad, but nobody was buying on Sunday. There was a totally different crowd on Sunday than Saturday.
Yeah. Well, that's where you see the potential. That's why that show has potential. Because if there's no reason why, if Saturday was good, why all the days wouldn't be good.
Yeah. My neighbor said, my neighbor was selling jewelry and he said, where are all the people that were here yesterday? Where did all these people come from? Where are all the people from yesterday?
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I've never seen a higher percentage of people with massive amounts of tattoos in my life.
Oh, you got to do wind up.
Yeah. Try Milwaukee.
No.
There's plenty of places where there's tattoos.
You have to go to Salt Lake.
I'm not talking about, a tattoo here, a tattoo there. I'm talking about sleeves, legs.
No, you have to go to Salt Lake.
Same thing.
Lake, Utah. That's how you know who is a Mormon and who's not a Mormon. I'm not even making that up.
And I made a comment to my neighbor about that on Sunday. And this lady had walked into my booth and she had tats on both arms and full sleeves and down both legs and full color. And she wound up being my biggest sale of the weekend of the show.
Well,
I don't get it.
You got to offer a picture of a tattooed lady in black and white.
I do have one. I have a picture of a tattooed lady in black and white that's wearing a Hello Kitty t-shirt.
Well, you know that Marx Brothers song, Lydia, oh Lydia, Lydia the tattooed lady?
No. Now you're really showing your age.
I wasn't born then, but I like,
No, I know.
doesn't everybody watch the old movies? Certainly all the Marx Brothers movies.
No.
No.
I used to. Now they're just clips on Facebook.
I suppose nobody here remembers Dick Cavett.
Nope.
Well, Dick Cavett had a nighttime, talk show, and Dick Cavett's pretty intellectual and intelligent guy. So we'd have these, people on, and they'd have really great, meaningful conversations. And he did a whole hour, 90 minutes with Groucho, and it's really good. You can see it on YouTube. Of course, you'd have to be like inquisitive and intelligent and into it to actually like go, oh, maybe I'll watch that. But so some of you here will watch it and some won't.
He was always
Okay,
known
I'm
for
just
having
joking. I'm just joking.
He was always known for having the intellectual guests on. Didn't he interview Nixon?
Wasn't that that English?
David Frost.
Yeah.
There was a famous show. Does anybody remember? Lester Maddox and his whole incident, the whole thing. Lester Maddox, and it was probably in Birmingham, Alabama. It was somewhere in the South. He owned a like a restaurant, but it was like a lunch counter, and he refused. I think he refused to serve black people, and some black people came in, and he made them leave. There was something, and it was a whole big dust up about it because it was during the civil rights movement, and so he was kind of a villain. And Dick Cavett had him on the show, and they started talking, and Dick Cavett just politely started asking him about it, and he got really pissed and it got up and left right in the middle of the interview. That's another one that you could watch on YouTube. And you know what? And I only bring these things up because everything relates. So it's the history of the United States and how things go and how things were. I think it's important to know that not too long ago there'd be signs saying we don't serve Jews and blacks on signs. I mean, come on, that's outrageous in today's world. But yet it did exist in America not too long ago. You know. Here's one for you. The statistics came out, the FBI statistics on the amount of racial incidents, anti-Semitic incidents in the country for the year, a year. And there was something like 3,600. That's 10 a day. Think about this. 10 times a day somewhere in the United States, somebody's painting a swastika or saying, something about Jews or whatever, derogatory, or I don't know, attacking somebody. I don't really know. 10 times a day. This is America. How does that happen? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Plus, it's got to be something big enough to get the FBI's attention.
No, they keep track of these things.
No, I know, but it's got to be a big enough incident to get the police and the FBI's attention.
That's right. That's right. What about other minor incidents? And then, I mean, it's ridiculous. Personally, I don't want somebody coming in my studio and shooting me because, I don't like pain for one thing, and
Do you think about that now when you go outside?
I don't want to bring up the, but we have. I wonder if any of you think about this when you're at a show.
It always crossed my mind, Barry. It's just a matter of when. It's not if it's going to happen. The question is when it's going to happen. It's people like it's if you don't think about it like this, cross your mind at least once a year. Something is you be living below a rock.
Anybody else here want to break?
Well, yeah, I always kind of. I always kind of look around, scout a way out.
Because it's going to happen. It's the same thing that when the thing in Highland Park happened over here, everybody was expecting it to happen. The question is everybody knows it's going to happen. The question is when it's going to happen. Hopefully you won't be there when it happens.
Yeah.
But Cottonwood, when the Cottonwood has policemen in the entrance from the show and 2 towers police watching the show, they're going in the morning with bomb dogs to the entire show before anybody gets there. So it's not, that show does it. I'm pretty sure all the shows do it also, but we don't know about it. And who knows how many undercover policemen are in there. So it happens.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know where I was at, but and it might have been Oklahoma City. One morning, early in the morning, there were police and dogs walking through. So they were sniffing for bombs or something. I mean, it was before anybody got there, so none of us would actually see it, but they actually did that, a sweep, a sweep, just, for at least that. And other shows put up a barrier, before you get in, but, because to prevent, a, a car, somebody with a car driving in and ramming a bunch of things. But it's easy to get around that by getting out of your car with your gun and just walking in.
Well, let's hope it never happens.
Yeah, that's true. And I only bring it up because I think about it just once for about 5 seconds at a show, every show. And that's,
I think that I honestly, the more you get to the northern east states, is less chances of that happening. But and the more you go to the south, it's a higher risk of that happening.
I don't think that. I think can happen anywhere.
I know, but it's a higher risk in other areas than other areas. It's more likely to happen in some areas over other areas. That's all. But like I say, I never want to be caught up in one of those.
I had a lady put down one of my cards and walk out of my booth because I didn't answer her questions the way she wanted them.
I had the same thing happen.
So what she was asking you?
I've got a bunch of old churches and stuff, and she was asking me about my religious views, and I told her, very politely told her I wasn't a religious person, and the reason I photographed these things is because I kind of document history, and churches were an important part of history in small towns, and she wanted to hear that I was, a Christian and a big believer, and when she didn't hear that, she put the card down and walked off.
Well, but she wasn't going to buy anyway.
No.
Yeah. And what about you, Perry?
Well, I'm not really sure exactly what it was, except that I didn't answer her fast enough because I was thinking of the question and I was wondering how to answer the question because it was kind of an off question and she got insulted. She thought I was like, I don't know, disrespecting her or something, and she just walked away. Okay. Sorry you had a bad morning. I mean, we get all kinds,
Oh. So this is a stupid question. What is if you printed in a 16 by 20 paper and the format of your pictures is 8 by 12? What is the biggest size you can print in a 16 by 20? And I don't know if it will look, so I was thinking 12 by 18 would fit, but it would look like a 1 inch in the size.
Well, no, it's your frame. You need a wider mat. Or you're talking about matted?
No, I'm thinking like for Florida, in some shows where I know that it's a bigger houses. I'm thinking that I'm going to print one bigger sizes, but I'm having problems getting the mats.
Getting mats?
Yep.
You need to order from a place that cuts custom mats.
I don't want. I'd rather buy the wholesale and then cut it myself. It's a lot more cheaper and it doesn't take me that long, to be honest with you. Because then I cut them as I need them, and I got two windows that I use, and I don't want to be buying 50 mats of one size one opening that I barely use, and the other one I use a lot. So that's what I always cut it myself. It's it only takes me 2 minutes to cut a window on the most. So, but I'm having problems getting the wholesale price. Like I'm talking to I need to call them tomorrow I might have to buy the bare minimum from Crescent. The problem started when Crescent buy Backbridge. Like I can order 25 sheets, but I think now I'm going to order probably like a 75 to 100 sheets to make sure that I get the order in this amount of time.
And
that's
they'll drop the box and damage the corner, and you'll lose 1/6 of your mat board.
yeah, nah. I that's what the person that does that for me, if that happens, they refund me the mat. So it's not a big deal.
Isn't there a custom framing place near you that will let you share an order with them?
No. The High Park location from the Great Fairmont closed. There's literally no framing shop in the south side of Chicago by the University of Chicago campus. Literally, the closest thing is downtown now. It's I was just talking to I post something on Facebook, and Cole and my friend Maurice took it a little bit the wrong way, but it's they making the south side become more like a suburb. Like you have to drive everywhere now to get something if you're not in Hyde Park. So we see how that works. But that will be something that I will discuss with my alderman when I see her next week. Well, it's the only thing I can say. But no, I'm going to see what I can do. I'm just thinking, because the 11x14, I can buy the paper 11x14 and print the 6.5 by 10 in there with no problems. But the biggest size paper I can put in my printer 17 by 20, 17 by 25.
22.
20,
I think 17 by 22 is a standard size.
yeah, but you can put the 25 also in there. You have to do custom editing, I think, but there's still no standard size frame. So I'm trying to figure out which size paper I can use without cropping. The idea is I don't want to crop the image because I shoot full frame and I don't want to be cutting anything because it's going to look weird.
I will give everybody a warning. Stay away from extended stay America hotels.
Why?
Roaches, the room wasn't clean. Half the stuff in the room didn't work. No way to get a hold of customer service to do anything. Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
Where?
Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay. Because a lot of artists stay at the extended stay in Ann Arbor.
The extended stay America, there was a $100 deposit. I got there late. And they wouldn't even let me in the door until I agreed to pay the $100 deposit.
Yeah,
and then you have to
means it just comes, it's part of your bill. It comes off your bill.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for it to come off my bill. And I checked out on Sunday.
Why don't you complain to headquarters?
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't know.
Oh, you can. I did. I sent them an email on Tuesday morning. I still never heard back from them.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
All of them.
I got overseas. I've got to call them today. I got overseas call center last time. Who I'm driving down the road. She wants to know what my reservation number was, what the last 4 digits of my credit card were, all this other stuff. I said, ma'am, I'm driving. I can't look any of that up right now.
You just file a claim with your credit. You pay cash or credit card?
Oh, credit card. I will dispute the deposit today if it's not back.
You can dispute the whole bill with Visa or whoever, and there's a good chance that they'll remove it and deal with it.
Yeah,
it's your whole charge for the weekend.
Yeah, it was ugly, and it was really, they make it out to be this nice regular kind of hotel, and you get there and it's like, a dump.
I stayed in the one that I stayed in. It's Extended America, right?
Yeah.
I stayed in the one in Houston by the whatever they call it, that nice area, and the bed was horrible. All the furniture, all the cabinets, it looks like from 10, 12 years ago. And everything was working, but it looks really outdated. The bathtub looks like it's losing the finish already. And but I needed a place to stay, and that's the few times. Basically, that's why I stay in the band.
It's like, I went in to take a shower and I grabbed the handle on the shower. It's got a lever and it came off in my hand.
Oh no.
And
oh no.
it's got the little kitchenette area, and the kitchen cabinets had a big smear on them, and somebody had spilled stuff down the side of the dresser. And it's all stuff that if they just taken a little bit of cleaner and a rag and wiped over, it would have been gone. There was stuff dried on the kitchen. It's just, oh.
So did you have to be deliced when you got home?
I felt like it.
Are you ever go to a soup? The reason when I say Super 8, it makes you feel better. It's like I went to Super 8 and my shoe was getting stuck to the floor.
Yeah, that's always a good sign. That's a sign.
Yeah, you could tell the carpet hadn't been vacuumed, and there was something ground in that, if you just, again, taking a damp rag and a little cleaner, yeah. The hallways were like that. It just was bad.
Yeah, I started thinking that my friend Anita and Steve, they said if it's not a 3-star or higher, they will not stay in there because of those things.
Yeah, my wife used to say no motels with numbers or colors in the name.
So no
Right, folks,
motels.
I gotta go. I gotta go cook dinner, and I got my Zoom tonight. So we'll see everybody later.
Yeah, bigger.
All right, bye, Court.
Bye.
See ya.
So no Motel 6, no Super 8, and no, which one would be no color?
Red Roof.
Red Roof. Oh my God. Actually, I was talking to a client on Sunday about Red Roof, and she was saying, oh, that's what it came out of the conversation, because when I was in Naples, they wanted $300 per night in a Red Roof. And Steve, who working, and I look at each other and was like, no.
Yeah, really.
So like just flat out no. And and she was going saying that used to be a really nice place to stay overnight, like when you was traveling, that was the place to go. And now it's like she was saying every single one is bad news now. So that brings my question about between Loring Park and Uptown. I need to find an hotel where to stay for that period. So it's going to be interesting because I don't want to stay in Minneapolis. I'm going to probably stay in Plymouth. So Barry, you're going to behave when I'm next to you in Ann Arbor, right?
Say what?
You're going to behave when I'm next to you in Ann Arbor. You're not going to be yourself, right?
I always behave. I'm often misunderstood. Yeah, listen. I've known these people for years and years.
Uh-huh. Nicole said, do you really want to be next to him? Are you sure about this?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that?
Uh-huh.
That I can't tell whether you're kidding or you're telling the truth. Now, if you talk to Karen, you wouldn't get that. I got it. I don't know. Nicole's minute. No, I didn't. I'm not saying anything. What's really funny is I decided before we got on that that it was time to schmooze Nicole, to get on and and write to her and tell her that I have a different perspective and I'm going to be Mr. Wonderful, and if she needs any help, I'm her person. When I saw Karen last, we hugged each other, so I get along really well with Karen. Um, you know, they don't listen to what I'm saying already. Without even hearing what I'm saying,
Harry?
huh?
They get along because they don't listen to what you're saying, or because they do listen to what you're saying?
No, they don't listen to what I'm saying because all I'm doing is trying to improve the show. I mean, some very obvious things, and they just hear whine, 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 whine without actually hearing what I'm saying. And everything I say is, first of all, it's for the artist. I want it better for the artist, and I've even explained it to it in writing. Look I want Ann Arbor to be the show it used to be, which was the best show in the country, not the 50th show in the country where they're patting themselves on the back saying, oh, we're still Ann Arbor. No, Ann Arbor hasn't been Ann Arbor for a really long time, but it could be. I mean, there's some obvious things like they don't really do much to attract the people that used to make that, the buyers that used to make that show really good, which is the north suburbs of Detroit. They don't court those people anymore.
How did they ever?
Those were the buyers,
I don't think they ever did. I think people used to attend the show because of the status. And when the status dropped off, they stopped attending.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Michigan is as rich as it used to be either.
Yeah, because they all left and moved to Florida or somewhere, I don't know. There's plenty. I can drive you through areas where, one home after another is really, really nice.
Yeah, I have some relatives out there. My mother grew up in Ann Arbor, actually.
Yeah.
But that's 100 years ago.
I lived in Ann Arbor for 2 years. I remember Ann Arbor.
I lived there for 6. I went to college there, but
you went to Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder. No, I went to Michigan State. It's a joke.
I took it as a joke.
I could have said Ohio State. That's a bigger,
I'd have laughed at that too.
That's a bigger no-no.
But the auto industry is not as rich as it used to be, and the American auto industry is much less rich than it used to be.
Are you kidding? The auto industry, they're paying each other, they're paying themselves $100 million a year. The top guys, there's plenty of money in the auto industry. They just had record profits. One of them, Ford, one of them.
I don't think so, unless it was Tesla.
No. Oscar, we're gonna have fun.
Somebody just posted on Facebook, they got an email today saying the deadline was extended for the plaza.
Yeah, that's what I got the email myself.
Guys, I'm gonna say goodbye.
Hey Frank, how much do I owe you, Frank?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
It's more complicated than I expected.
So Frank, but you told Larry that it's going to be free.
No, I didn't tell him.
Come on, Frank.
Yeah. So I was wondering, Frank. I was wondering how much you charge for doing your websites.
It depends on what you want done. $120 an hour. Or if I'm teaching you how to build your own website that you can manage yourself, it's a fixed price.
Do we get a discount for being really fun here on Larry's board?
Yeah, it's going to charge you $240 just for you.
Ask Larry. I'm like the cheapest guy here, so I'm always angling for a deal. So,
what do you need done, Barry?
Worth it. I still haven't done everything he told me I need to do, but what he did help me with was very much worth the service price, whatever you want to call it.
Thank you, Katie.
Frank,
What do you need done, Barry?
He needs a new website. That's what he needs.
Website.
All right, well, we can build you an e-commerce website in Squarespace, and after you know how it works, you can manage it yourself forever.
Well, I know how, I'll know how it works. I'm pretty much technically savvy.
Okay.
I need more it's motivation. I'll do it next week.
Do you want
That kind of
do you want an e-commerce website, or you just want a business card?
what?
A business card. In other
Do you
words,
want
you
a
send people
brochure
there
site
so
or
they
a
No, I
see
want
it.
a real site that I can, I can put, well, an e-commerce site for sure. But, you know, I basically want to do, I want to, update it myself all the time,
Fine.
maintain it,
So I've taught a whole bunch of people how to do it in Weebly, but Weebly I don't trust anymore since Square bought them.
No, I actually was waiting for this next month or two because I'm not doing any shows in May and June. I'm
Okay.
just making work, and I'm actually doing the thing that I thought I should have done 10 years ago, which was really be an expert on online selling. Um, and so, so I was looking at them, and I thought Squarespace it looks pretty good.
Squarespace is very good, and I'm teaching two people currently how to use it.
What about art storefronts?
Oh no,
I'm
no,
not familiar with them.
no.
There are an awful lot of platforms out there, and I of the ones I've looked at carefully, Squarespace is the one I would recommend the most at the moment. So I'm
Now,
studying some new ones, but
Squarespace isn't owned by Square Up, is
no.
it? Or
Square
something
owns
else?
Weebly and has been mismanaging
Oh,
it since they bought
really?
it. They're completely
Really?
separate companies, yes.
That's surprising.
Well, I think Squarespace didn't want to be bought by Square, so they bought a competitor. I would be very surprised if Square didn't go to Squarespace first, but they bought Weebly.
Yeah, and isn't Weebly more like a glorified podcast site?
No, Weebly and Squarespace were pretty equivalent 5 years ago,
Uh-huh.
but Squarespace continues to improve and Weebly is deteriorating.
Uh-huh.
And the Square company has announced that people who start Weebly websites will be able to use them for at least another year
Uh-huh.
and a half. Excuse me, another 2 years rather. It's June of 2025 where they're promising it will continue to work.
Uh-huh.
And then they make a statement that we're not saying we're going to take it down in July of 2025. We're promising to keep it up till the end of June 2025. So I'm not putting anybody on it anymore.
Yeah.
And Squarespace is very good. And I had a whole bunch of clients that I suggested they look at Weebly and chose Squarespace. They thought it was easier, which I didn't think so, but Squarespace continues to improve. So I'm very, having worked on it 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and thought it's okay. Now I like it better.
Is it intuitive to use?
Yeah, I mean, the first couple days are fumbling, and then you figure it out, and it's straightforward.
Yeah, I probably won't be fumbling.
Well, maybe not. I hope not.
You will.
So, Barry, do you have my email address?
No.
I'll put it in the chat, and we can schedule a meeting.
Yeah, it's not going to be immediate. I have challenges.
Well,
I
okay.
have doctor appointments. I got stuff to do. So okay.
I am going to be unavailable for 2 weeks, starting the Wednesday before Memorial Day.
Okay, so you're saying it should be before then? Or after that?
Well, I'm available up to May 24, and then I'm available after June 8 or 9.
Okay. I'll write this down and I'm gonna go look at shit. Come on. Oh, wait a minute, I can't duh. I can't what can I not do? I don't know what I can't do. Nothing. I didn't say, I lost my thought, doesn't matter.
Email me, I'll send you a calendar link. We'll figure out when we can talk to each other and then
Okay.
we'll talk about what your
Oh,
timeline
I
is.
know, I'm gonna look at it, and if I can do it myself, I would do it, because I think I know what I'm doing. Famous last
Oh.
words, right?
There are lots of people who built very nice Squarespace sites, but a very nice site isn't necessarily a very good site.
Yeah,
There are things that you just won't know, Barry. There are questions you won't know to ask. So,
you're talking about SEO stuff?
SEO stuff, among other things. So, I have no doubt you can make a site that's going to look good. But having another person help you think it through is
Okay.
in
I wrote down
my
your,
experience, most people who hire me are happy they hired me.
okay,
Let's leave it at that. I'll see you all guys later.
all right, I'll
Yeah.
see you.
See ya.
Yeah, I should go too.
Okay,
As
my
it
friend.
is, I'm gonna be driving. Hey, okay, I drove through Nashville during rush hour yesterday, and now I'll be driving through St. Louis during rush hour.
Masochist.
I guess it's better than Chicago.
Or
I
New
don't
York.
know because I cannot tell you because I don't drive in Russia.
In fact, Oscar, I probably would have come to see you and stayed overnight, even though you wouldn't want me to do that. But I just dread driving into Chicago. I'm not doing it.
You're always welcome to stay. You're so to your
I know, and we had fun. Listen, one of the best times I ever had was staying with you and going to that restaurant and and the music and everything. That was very cool. I love the food. I love the atmosphere. That was great.
Well, just like I say, anytime. So,
I love your cats. They're hilarious.
all three of them. Need to stalk them out of this room.
Yeah.
So,
All
okay.
right. I want to stay all night, but I think I'm going to go too.
All right, drive
I'll
safe.
see y'all. Thank you.
So, Annette, when is your next show? This weekend?
Yeah, Brookside. And then
Lucky you.
5 in a row, 5 weekends in a row. So I've never done that before. So
Which one you doing?
Brookside, then Lamar, Marion, Iowa.
Loudmire, that was the one I was trying to remember earlier.
Paseo, and then Webster. So,
Well, I'm going to tell you one advice. In the week, take it easy. Do the least amount of work that you can.
Okay. I just,
because now you're going to burn yourself out really fast by the third week.
I know, but then I don't have anything. It's like I have nothing after that early June, and then July, August, September. I don't know. So.
Yeah, I know, I understand, but these 5 weeks, don't during the weeks between shows. Try not to kill yourself doing things that you don't have to do. Whatever can wait, just let it wait.
Yeah.
See, now you're going to regret it.
Yeah, there's not too much time in between because it's longer shows too, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah, looks like it might rain, but we'll see. It hasn't rained here in forever, and now it's like rain. I've seen no rain here for months, and now it's like it's coming.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It'll be all right.
It'll be fine. You will come to do really good.
Yeah, I think so. I'm excited. Very excited. I have a new sign for my booth, so I'm good.
You should be fine.
Okay. I'll let you know.
I know. Be good. Say hi to the hobby.
Okay.
All right,
Alrighty, see you all
See you
later.
guys.
all right. See you next week.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.